Ace Combat 4, Ace Combat 5, Ace Combat Zero. Fans refer to these three games as the Holy Trinity. Unfortunately, none of the newer games really lived up to the high bar that they set. Ace Combat 6, the gameplay was there, but the story was just the worst.
Dance with an angel, Mom.
Why is there a turret section? And then Ace Combat Infinity was weird. Ace Combat 7 looks like it's finally going to be a glorious return to form. But what if I told you there was another fantastic Ace Combat game that you could play right now? Well, you probably wouldn't be too surprised considering the title of this video. If you already knew about Ace Combat X, congratulations, you're smarter than me. I'd written it off as inferior simply due to the fact that it was on the PSP, a device specifically designed by Satan to give people carpal tunnel. But last week I had the sudden realization that emulators exist. And now for the obligatory disclaimer where I pretend I'm not encouraging software piracy. Rip the BIOS from your own system, get the ISO off of a disk. I'm not advocating piracy, even though there's literally no risk. Re-release the game and I'll buy it, put it on the PlayStation Store. But until then I will just pirate, that's what God made VPNs for. But for real, you probably have a device lying around somewhere that can run the PPSSPP emulator, which despite its abysmal name is the best PSP emulator out there. So you've got no excuse, go play Ace Combat X right now. Spoiler warning for the whole game. Ace Combat X feels kinda like a remaster of Ace Combat 4. It plays pretty much the same, but there's also a lot of fresh ideas here that I wish the series would bring back. For starters, the campaign has branching paths. On the Mario-esque overworld map, you have to choose which groups of enemies you want to attack, and the ones you don't take out can retreat and show up in future missions. You can take your time to complete every mission and wipe out all the enemies, or just take the quickest route to your objective and ignore the rest. The same map can have completely different mission objectives depending on which route you take. A helicopter escort mission can become a nighttime raid on an airbase. A boss uses different tactics depending on if you fought it before, and there's even two different versions of the final mission, the one with the shot cannon and the good one. The other cool feature of Ace Combat X is the ability to customize your plane. You can equip dozens of different parts that alter stats and even unlock special weapon properties. I never thought I'd be obsessing over what the best build is in an Ace Combat game. I mean, obviously it's always the Nighthawk with unguided bombs, but this system is pretty fun to tinker around with. Unfortunately, one area where Ace Combat X comes up short is the story. It's told in the same style as 4, with the narrator talking over a PowerPoint presentation. There's only a handful of cutscenes and the plot is really basic. It makes sense considering the limited storage on a PSP disc. It just leaves a little to be desired. It's also worth mentioning that the graphics are bad, but I mean, what do you expect? It's the PSP.
The super sharp graphics and 16:9 aspect ratio give these games a look that I think will soon be identified with the PlayStation Portable.
Now here's a couple moments I particularly enjoyed. During the first mission I was thinking, wow, this is just sitting duck. And then the bad guy says, "We're sitting ducks up here!" Hey! Rick is my new favorite Ace Combat character. I mean, just listen to that beautiful voice.
What? Where? Where is it? Answer me now! Eugene!
They really try their hardest to make the Gleipnir seem like a slasher movie villain. I love how its soundtrack is literally horror movie creepy violin music. I like the part where they're hyping you up to do the signature tunnel run, and then this guy's like, the real tunnel run is actually kind of hard because you have to make so many turns within a confined space. And as it turns out, this was the perfect game to play for the holiday season, because this is the actual ending.
I like the design, I said as I embarrassingly showed it to him.
So yeah, Ace Combat X really surprised me. As far as I'm concerned, it could be in the Holy Trinity if the story was a little more fleshed out. And also if Trinity didn't mean 3. So yeah, like and subscribe if you want, I don't freaking care. Thanks Aptroxix for letting me use your gameplay footage in my video.